Let's continue our classes. India-Germany relations. Why the news? Recently, German China was visited India to enhance bilateral relations between India and Germany. More on the news. 2024 marks the 25th anniversary of the strategic partnership signed in 2000 between India and Germany. 2024 also marks the 50th anniversary of the signing of the intergovernmental agreement on cooperation in scientific research and technological development. During the visit, the 7th intergovernmental consultations (IGC) were held, and also in India-Germany Innovations and Technology Partnership Roadmap for Renewable Energy, quantum technologies, and space explorations was launched. Okay. Next, we have the significance of India-Germany partnership. Trade and Germany is India's largest trade partner in Europe, with the bilateral trade reaching $333.33 billion in 2023. Germany is the ninth largest foreign direct investor in India, with a cumulative FTA of $14.5 billion April 2000 December 2023. Germany gets access to India's large and growing consumer market, along with the availability of skilled labor and rapid adoption of digital technology. The timeline of India-Germany relations. The diplomatic relations between India and Germany was established in 1951. 2000 strategic partnership agreement signed. Indo-German consultative committee established 2005-2011. Launch of intergovernmental consultation IGC as a BNN exercise the levels of government. Indo-German 1.5 track dialogue launch of the IGC. Okay, next we have the climate and sustainability. Under the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership 2022, Germany committed €10 billion for projects like solar partnerships and agroecology. Germany is a member of India-led initiatives like the Coalition for Disaster Resilience versus CDRI, and the German Science and Technology Center IGSTC supports 49 priority projects, including initiatives like Women in Science and Engineering Research. Okay, wiser defense and security. The 2000 Defense Cooperation Agreement. Working groups on counter-terrorism, security and defense. Also, recently, Germany has shown key interest in participating in Project 75-1 program of the Indian Navy for 6 conventional submarines. Joint exercise X-Milan, Passex, Extra, Tarang, Shakti, 1, etc. Diversification of trade partners, reducing dependency on China, China plus 1, Holland, the European Union, China trade tensions, extracting ties with the EU. Impose tariffs of up to 31.1% on Chinese electric vehicles for unfair trade practices. Challenges in bilateral relations. Trade and investments barriers. Indian companies faced non-tariff barriers on their products in Europe, such as carbon border adjustment mechanism (CBAM), SABAM. Similarly, bureaucratic hurdles and a complex tax system have kept German investments in India around 25 billion euros, $27 billion US dollars. About only 20% of the volume invested in China. Strategic and geopolitical differences. India's neutral stance on the Russia-Ukraine conflict contrasts with Germany's strong opposition to Russian aggregation. Okay, Germany's economic dependence on China limits its ability to fully support India's position against China, unlike the USA and Japan in Quad. Human rights criticism. German critics of India's internal policies, example Kashmir plus freedoms, create diplomatic sensitivities. Okay, for free trade agreement FTAs really recognition of the negotiations between India and the European Union to compete with China is almost 300 billion euros trade with Germany around. Indo-Pacific engagement increased Germany's presence in the region through joint naval exercises and infrastructure investments. As a message in the 7th IGC, collaborations in clean tech and sustainable development with projects like electrical mobility and green hydrogen and renewable energy, etc. to initiatives like the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership with supply chain resilience to diversify the production of chain of semiconductors, automobile parts, pharmaceuticals away from China. Both Germany and India can become partners, also supporting Bekele the initiative. Okay. India-Italy relations. Prime Ministers of India and Italy held bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and announced a joint strategic action plan 2025-29. Key highlights of Indian Navy joint strategic action plan 2025-29: economic cooperations and investment fostering, partnership in automotive, semiconductors, infrastructure, and advanced manufacturing. Okay. Timeline of India-Italy relations. Okay. Diplomatic relations were established in 1947. Established Enrica Lexie, case of fisherman shooting of Italian Marines. Okay. Augusta Westland, VV-based opera. 2008 strategic partnership on energy transition, strategic partnership on agreement and defense cooperation agreement 2023. Next we have the strengthening bilateral trade and investments through the Joint Commission for Economic Cooperation and Joint Working Group on Food Processing and Collectively enhanced collaborations on maritime and land infrastructure within the framework of India, Middle East, Europe Economic or IMEC. Okay, science and technology agreed on critical technologies like AI and digitization with the implementation of 2025-27 executive programs for scientific and technology cooperation, introducing new Indian Indo-Italian innovations and incubation exchange program to foster academic and industrial collaboration. Okay, space sectors expanded. Italian Space Agency, ASI, and the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) collaborations on Earth observation and heliophysics and space exploration with an emphasis on lunar science. Energy transition. Both countries agreed on organizing tech summits and strengthening alliances like Global Biofuels Alliance and International Solar Alliance. Defense cooperation decided to hold annual joint defense consultative JDC meetings and joint staff talks JST to improve coordinations in defense matters. Okay, discuss establishing a defense industrial roadmap to foster corporations defense manufacture. Okay, about India Italy relations historical connectivity and what cities were important trading post from the ancient spice route of the Mediterranean merchant Marco Polo during his travels to the east travel into India in the 30s and the strategy both countries have become strategic partners in 2023 with enhanced cooperation in the Pacific and Mediterranean regions, with Italy joining India-led initiatives such as the Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative (IPOI) and India Middle East European Economic Corridor (IMEC). Italy accepted China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) in 2023 after joining it in 2009 as the only G7 member. This aligns with India's efforts to counter China's growing dominance in Europe. Italy is India's fourth largest trading partner in the European Union after Germany, Belgium, and Netherlands. Bilateral trade in 2024 received $14.56 billion, with India's exports to add $8.76 billion. Okay, India ranks 18th in the terms of FTAs inflows into India during April 2000 to June 2024. Defense and security signed with the Defense Cooperation Agreement to enhance collaboration as research, industrial cooperations, and maritime domain awareness, along with holding regular talks via platforms like Italy India Military Cooperation Group, collaboration on counterterrorism through bilateral and multilateral forums like United Nations Cloud Counterterrorism Forum, GCDF, and Financial Action Task Force, FATF. Environment and climate India-led initiatives joined by Italy include International Solar Alliance's ISA Coalition for South Australian Infrastructure (CDRI) and Global Biofuels Alliance (GBA). People-to-people ties. Italy hosts the second largest Indian diaspora on the European Union, estimated at 2 lakhs, including PIS. Both sides signed a migrations and mobility agreement in 2023 to facilitate temporary residence for Indian standards up to 12 months after their graduation. Okay, next we have other emerging areas. The Blue and Space Economy and Conference, it attended by Italian and Indian institutes and companies, was held recently where both sides discussed operations and cooperation space sector and blue economic challenges in the Italy relations ka China dependency despite exiting BRI. Italy relies on China for imports and supply chains. Okay, signed a migrations and mobility agreement in 2023 to facilitate temporary residence for Indian students up to 12 months after their graduation. Other emerging areas, the Blue and Space Economy Conference attended by Italian and Indian institutions and companies was held recently where both sides discussed cooperations in space sector and blue economy. Okay, challenges in India-Italy relations. China dependency despite exiting BRI. Italy relies on China for imports and supply chains, especially in textile sector, impacting India's strategic interests. Trade, bilateral trade remains under 15 billion, far below Italy-China trade of 80 billion. Okay, trust issues. Insights like the Enrica Lexi case and Augusta Westland scams have mainly strained lies. Pakistan ties Italy's military scale to sales to Pakistan, including helicopters and how it says concerns in India. Okay, next we have the previously Italy and India collaborated in the development of Chandrayaan-2 mission, which also carried a laser instrument developed by the Italian Space Agency way for implementation of the Joint Strategic Action Plan 2025-2029, especially in sectors like defense and space. A close alignment of India's active policy with the European Union's Indo-Pacific strategy to effectively counter China's dominance in the Pacific Ocean. Italy joining IPOI is a step in right direction. Early conclusions of EU-India free trade agreement, along with removing non-tariff barriers such as the carbon border adjustment mechanism (CBM), leveraging multilateral platforms like the G20, G7, and European Union to address shared challenges like terrorism, climate change, etc. Deepening cultural and people-to-people ties to bridge the trust deficit through festivals, tourism, academic partnerships, and allowing more Indians to work Italy to counter demographic winter currently faced by Italy. Okay, India-Spain relations. Recently, the President of Spain made a bilateral visit to India, along with the business delegation, to enhance bilateral cooperation between both the countries. Key outcomes of the visit: defense manufacturing, joint inaugurations of the C-295 aircraft and assembly line in Orodra, advanced systems in partnership with the Airbus S-10 40 aircrafts will be manufactured in India, while 16 will be delivered in August 2025. The facility positions India as a potential aviation hub for domestic and export markets. Investment facilitation, establishment of a fast task mechanism in India's DPIIT and Spain's Directorate General of International Trade and Investments to promote mutual investments, consular expansion, the announcement of Spanish consulate in Bangalore, and the operationalization of Indian consulate in Barcelona. Cultural cooperation and cultural exchange program, okay, CEP launched for 2024-28, okay, declarations of 2026 as Indian Space, India, Spain, Year of Culture, Tourism, and AI. Okay, establishment of Indian Council for the Council Relation this year, change on Hindi and Indian Studies at the University of Valladolid. The Indian Space Bilateral Relation Diplomatic Relations established in 1956 to strengthen the cooperation under the Association for Peace, Growth and Innovation (APCI) since 2017 in security, defense and technology. Spain is a key EU partner in enhancing India's strategic ties with Europe. He either highlights a commitment to European Union in the agreements to free trade, okay, investment protection and geographical indications focus on enhancing connectivity through the EU-India Connectivity Partnership and the India Middle East European Economic Corridor (IMEC), emphasis on the free, inclusive, Indo-Pacific and combating terrorism through UN resolutions. Okay, next we have the Multilateral cooperation. Spain supports India's membership in international security regimes like the Missile Technology Control Regime (MTCR). Okay, trade and economic relations. Okay, Spain and India's sixth largest trade partner in Europe with bilateral trade reaching 9.9 billion US dollars in 2023. Okay, Spain is the 16th largest investor in India with 4.2 billion US dollars in FDI April 2024 with over 280 Spanish companies being active in India. Additionally, Indian companies have invested over US dollar 900 million in Spain, prominently in the IT services, pharmaceuticals, and logistical service. Okay, defense and security cooperation. Spain and India signed an agreement in 2020 to collaborate next generation naval ships. Joint in activities include Spain's participation in the European Union, India joint naval exercises 2023 and passage exercises. Plus, with Indian Navy ships. Okay, cultural exchanges. Approximately 75,000 Indians reside in Spain. Also, Indian Council for Cultural Relations (ICCR) imports yoga and classical dance lessons in Spain. Usage was first while trilateral power transactions. Okay, inaugurations of first trilateral power transactions from Nepal to Bangladesh to the Indian grid took place. Okay, this tripartite power sales agreement between NTPC, Vidyut Vyapar Nigam, Nepal Electricity Authority (NEA), and Bangladesh Power Development Board was signed. An agreement to facilitate power transaction from Nepal to Bangladesh through Indian grid with an export of up to 440 megawatts of power. Commitment towards greater sub-regional cooperation, including in the energy sector, which could lead to increased interlinkages between the economies for multiple benefits for all stakeholders. Chennai Vladivostok Eastern Maritime Corridor operational, also known as Eastern Maritime Corridor (EMC), is set to boost maritime ties between India and Russia. About EMC emission during the Eastern Economic Forum 2019 in Vladivostok. Okay, the city seeks to develop a sea route between the Indian port of Chennai, okay, and Vladivostok through Northeast Asia. Covers a distance of around 10,300 kilometers, passes through the Sea of Japan and the South China Sea, Malacca Strait. Okay, Chennai Vladivostok Eastern Maritime Corridor. Okay, significance of the corridor reduced logistic cost due to the reduction in transportation time by around 16 days and distance by around 40%. Trade route between Mumbai and St. Petersburg, Russia, via Suez Canal takes around 40 days and covers a distance of around 16,066 kilometer. Boost in this maritime sector. The sector handles around 95% of by volume and 75% by value of countries' trade commitments. India's maritime mission 2030 then encompasses more than 150 initiatives from all areas of maritime sector. Next, we have the addresses China's dominance passes through the South China Sea. Vladivostok is located at a short distance from Russia-China's border. Boost India's act for its policy offer and has access to Russian resources and provide stronger foothold on India. The Pacific Trade Network. Other significant maritime corridors: India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor (IMEC), and also in G20 Leaders Summit New Delhi 23 for the integration of Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. International North-South Transport Corridor (INSTC) first moved in 2000 to build a transport corridor linking Russia's Baltic Sea coast to India's western ports in the Arabian Sea via Iran. US, Japan, and South Korea signed GG framework. Digital infrastructure growth initiatives for India framework. GG framework seeks to advance cooperation between the United States, Japan, and the Republic of Korea in partnership with India. Okay, DG framework objective aims to further their collaboration with the Indian private sector to support digital infrastructure in India. Partner is International Development Finance Corporation, the Japan Bank for International Cooperation (JBIC), and Export Import Bank of Korea. Exim Bank implementation. It will support projects in information and communications technology sector such as 5G, open RAN, submarine cables, optical fiber network status, and smart city and e-commerce, AI, and quantum technology. Digital public infrastructure in India. India became the first country to build all three foundational DPIs through India Stack, digital identification, Aadhaar, real-time rapid payment (UPI), and the data sharing architecture, data empowerment, and production agriculture. Significance inclusive development. DPI helped India achieve 80% of the financial inclusion during 2018-2023 and enabled direct benefit transport. Transfer supporting 80% 7% of the poor household during the COVID-19 economic growth. India can be speed up economic growth by 33% by implementing DPI in financial sector. Emission reduction. DPI in climate sector can accelerate emissions control by 5 to 10 years through implementing DPI in carbon offsets and trading and land mapping and weather information and monitoring. India's efforts at globalizing DPS. US-India Global Digital Development Partnership to deploy responsible use of emerging digital technologies in Asia and Africa. G20 framework for systems for DPI adopted under the India G20 leadership of principle for designing and deploying DPI. So next we have the virtual global DPI repository being set up by India to host and DPI focused tools, resources, and experiences from around the world. Second, India CARICOM summit concluded in Guyana. India embossed 7 key pillars to strengthen ties between India and the Caribbean community. CARICOM. Okay, 7 pillars listed by the India Forum. India formed the acronym CARICOM. Pillars include capacity building, agriculture and food security, renewable energy and climate change, innovation, technology, and trade, etc. The first ever India CARICOM summit was held in 2018. More CARICOM, a regional organization established in 1973 to promote economic integration and cooperation of the in the Caribbean. Next, we have the consists of 21 countries, 15 member states, and 6 associate members, including Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, etc. Okay, significance of CARICOM for the partnership in multilateral forums. Many CARICOM countries such as Antigua and Barbuda supports India's position in international forums. Some support for permanent membership in the UNSC. Okay, South-South cooperation countries from the group participate in the Voice of Global South Summit. Okay, 2024 organized by India Defense Export. Example recently HAL delivered two drone and 228 planes to Guyana. Okay, climate action, collaboration, energy security. Example, Sweden have joined International Solar Alliance as other act as a gateway to Latin American corporations in disaster resilience. Example, coalition for disaster resilience infrastructure home to Indian diaspora, Trinidad and Tobago. Asian defense ministers meeting plus added plus an 11th ADM plus held recently at Vietnam is allow period. Okay, about DDM plus critical conference of 10 ASEAN member states and 8 allied borders Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, Russia, and the United States. Okay, inaugural ADM plus was convened in Hanoi. Okay, Vietnam in 2010. Okay, since 2007, ADM plus ministers meet annually to further dialogue and cooperation amongst ASEAN and plus countries. Its purpose is to strengthen security and defense cooperation for maintenance of peace, stability, and development in the region. Focus on 7 areas of particular tactical cooperation, maritime security, counter-terrorism, HADR, peacekeeping operations, military medicine, humanitarian, mine actions, and cybersecurity. Okay, Indian Chemical Council wins OPCW and the Hague Award. 2024 OPCW, the Hague Award was conferred upon Indian Chemical Council (ICC), the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. OPCW Hague Award acknowledged ICC contributions to chemical safety complies with the Chemical Weapons Convention (CWC). This is the first time that the award organizes the efforts of a chemical industry body. Hague Award was established in 2014 to honor OPCW's contributions to Chemical Weapons Conventions. CWC also about Chemical Weapons Convention (CWC). It came into the force in 1997 and presently has 193 states parties. So next we have India's original secretary to the aim to eliminate the entire category of weapons of mass destruction by prohibiting the development, production, acquisition, stock, detention, transfer of use of chemical weapons by state parts. Implementation of OPCW in the implementing body with a mission to achieve a world free of chemical weapons. OPCW was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2013. Chemical weapon is a chemical used to cause intentional death or harm through its toxic properties, munitions, devices, and other equipment, specifically simulation devices and other equipment. Significantly designated weapons, toxic chemicals also fall under the one of the definition of chemical weapons. Implementation in India's National Authority Chemical Weapons Conventions (NACWC) is responsible for implementing the conventions in India. Okay, NACWC was established under the Chemical Weapons Conventions Act of 2000. Indian Chemical Council (ICC) agencies founded in 1938 to support and drive the growth of India's chemical industry. Okay, the Pakistan national body representing all branches of India's chemical industry, including organic, inorganic, chemicals, plastic, and petrochemicals industry. Represents over 80% of India's T20 billion chemical industry. Okay, Cairo call to action. World Urban Forum WO controlled its soil solution held in Cairo, Egypt, with the adoption of 10-point Cairo call to action. Okay, WO established in 2001 by United Nations, the premier global conference on sustainable urbanization. Okay, Cairo call to action. That is, it calls for urgent action to address the global housing crisis, sharing urban spaces inclusively, and urban planning to deliver better local outcomes. Okay, achieving global goals through local actions, representations of local actors at all levels, and building alliances to scale social impact, unlocking finance for cities and communities, and ensuring equity and justice. Okay, leveraging local and grassroots data for decision making. Okay, harnessing cultural heritage as an asset. Okay, asset for sustainability. International Cooperative Alliance. Okay, International Cooperative Alliance (ICA), a global cooperative conference, is being organized in India for the first time. 130th year long history of ICA theme cooperative build prosperity for all, alliance with the Indian government vision of Shahgar Kese Samarthi prosperity through cooperation. About ICA founded in 1985, and it is a global organization that unites, represents, and serves cooperatives around the world. Members with 306 members organization corresponding to 5 countries. It serves as a apex body for the cooperative movement, providing a global platform for collaboration, knowledge exchange, and coordination action. Okay, next we have the Triton Island. Okay, Triton Island, located in the vast South China Sea, is also known as Seashore Islands in China. Okay, it is effectively controlled by China, but it's also claimed by Vietnam and China. Okay, China took control of the parcels from South China. Vietnam followed in 1974 time military build-up in Triton Island. Okay, represents a significant escalation in China's strategy to establish military dominance in the South China. Okay, Triton Islands. Okay, next we have the economy, importance of large trade agreements. Why the rules? Recently, the India Ayog CEO suggested that India should be part of a large trade agreements in the region and comprehensive economic partnership (RCEP) and comprehensive and progressive agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP). The World Bank India development update suggested reforms to reduce the trade costs, global trade barriers, and re-strategizing participation in FTAs like the RCP FTAs agreement between two or more countries where they agree on certain obligations that affect trade in goods and services and protections for investors and intellectual property rights, IP rights, okay, among other topics. On the contrary, the Global Trade Research Initiative (GTRI) negated the World Bank's suggestions for India to reconsider joining RCP or Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. RCP is a comprehensive free trade agreement FTA between the 10th ASEAN member states and the ASEAN's FTA partners, visas Australia, China, Japan, South Korea, and New Zealand. Okay, next we have the objective to achieve a more comprehensive, high quality, and mutually beneficial economic partnership agreement among the ASEAN member states and ASEAN FTA partners. RCEP negotiation began. The scenario was signed in 2008. A lot of negotiation in 2009. It is the world's largest free trade agreement by 2,000 members. That is GDP, which constitute about 30% of the world's GDP and about a third of the world population. About comprehensive and progressive agreements for transmission for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTP). CPTP is a free trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, Peru, Chile, New Zealand, Australia, Brunei, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Japan. UK will officially join CPTPP by 15 December 2024. ODPP CPTP constitute 11.4% of the world's GDP and 6.5% of the world's population. The significance of involvement in large trade agreements in integration in global valuation inclusions into large trade blocks can potentially improve supply chain development and expansion and economic integration for India. Example remain aid in AC imports of capital goods and inputs required to develop an indigenous industry. Benefits of the MSME sector within FTAs may benefit the MSMEs, which contribute nearly 40% of India's exports. Okay, these trade blocks can serve as a vibrant export market for realizing the manufacturing potential of Indian companies. Okay, next we have the ASEAN plus one FTAs. Okay, India's Hong Kong, Greece, Russia, China, South Korea, Australia, Japan, New Zealand. Okay, ASEAN, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, okay, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. Okay, CPTP, Canada, Chile, Peru, Mexico. Okay, next we have the trade competitiveness. Okay, with the tariffs at more with potential competitors of India like the ASEAN countries, India can benefit from attract private investment and capitalizing on the China plus one strategy used by companies to diversify supply chain. This will attract more foreign direct investment. FTA enforce increase employment opportunities and business prospects in India. An independent study found that upon joining the RCP, the economy could gain up to $60 billion by 2030. Strategic relevance includes the trade blocks provides an opportunity to influence institutional policies of regional trade like the trade liberalization framework of e-commerce, etc. Example, RCEP is in line with the objectives of India's Act East policy, while CPTP can improve India's engagement in the Indo-Pacific region. China's trade imbalance, RCEP gains as disproportionately skewed towards China, which is worsening the huge trade deficit of India with the China $850 billion in financial year 24. Example, Russia's trade deficit with the China grows sharply from $81.7 billion in 2020 to $135.6 billion to the record marginal benefits. India already has robust free trade agreements FTAs with the 13 out of 15 RCEP members, including New Zealand and China. Divergent approaches the trade agreements diverge with India's approach in areas like taxation measures, investor state dispute settlement, ICSTS, binding investor protection provisions, etc. Okay, example principles like most forward nations MFN and was not included in the 2015 model bilateral investment trade BID stringent competition. Regional FTAs will make cheap imports easier due to the tariff reduction and pose unfair competitions of various Indian industry. Example, dairy industry hinder indigenous enterprises. Stringent portions of the agreements will hinder the development of indigenous entrepreneurship and manufacturing ecosystem due to limitations posed by the provisions. Example, provisions related to the working conditions of labor, environmental protection, etc. Way forward revising FTAs and deliberation there needs to be through discussions and deliberation inclusive for all stakeholders on the cost benefit analysis of joining the large trade agreements. Improving trade competitiveness, working on measures like the production of non-tariff barriers and trade diversification will lead in improving India's integration with the global value chain. Continuing negotiation, India needs to keep negotiating for favorable terms in trade, prioritize long-term goals. The goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, transforming India global manufacturing hub and upholding the principal strategic autonomy needs to be prioritized in decision making about joining the large trade agreements. Conclusion, India's growth trajectory has been sui generis. While trade forms a major aspects of economic growth, any form of integration, including binding terms in the global trade agreements, needs to be analyzed in considering the net benefits accrued by India from the arrangements. As global powers encourage India to join these large trade agreements, India's needs to be decide based on national and pragmatic analysis. Next, we have the China's first strategy in the context of the increased global supply chain dependency on China, and the China plus one strategy can be seen as a global business strategy encouraging diversification of investment and manufacturing to alternative destinations along with mainland maintain a presence in China. Okay, next we have Okay, next we have the direct benefit transfer DPD. As per a recent report by the State Bank of India, the direct benefit transfer DPD amount to one through various schemes has crossed 2 trillion mark crosses across multiple states. More about the across 8 states on a severity 2.11 lakhs crore is being given under the various schemes among amounting to about 3 to 11% of the respective state of revenues, state revenues received. The report noted that the positive aspects of these schemes as well as it will boost consumption and overall economic spending, particularly of the low-income families. Some of the schemes mentioned in the report as possible. Guru Lakshmi of Karnataka gives 2,000 per month to the female head of the family. Mukhyamantri Majhi Ladki Vahini Yojana of Maharashtra provides for 1,500 per month to eligible women aged 21 to 60 years. Okay, Mukhyamantri Ladli Bhejna Yojana of Madhya Pradesh over 1,250 per month to eligible women. Subhash Yojana of Odisha has a provision of 50,000 over a 5-year period to eligible women aged 21 to 60 years. Okay, direct benefit of CBT launch 2000 reform mechanism of transferring cash subsidies and benefits to ensure reductions in leakages, faster delivery, and eliminations of delays in fund flow. Okay, scope of support cash transfers examples include PM Kisan farmer income support, pensions, old age widows and scholarship income support, fertilizer subsidies, food grain distributions of PBDS and school meals. FPM portion mechanism built on India's Tanga Public National Management System. FPM of certainly central plan scheme monitoring system. CPSMS it now performs functions such as beneficiary list preparation, digital signing, and payment processing. Via the Aadhaar payment goods AVP of NPC, JAM 20 Gen 10 Aadhaar mobile integrates Aadhaar serial Gen 10 accounts with the mobile numbers to enable seamless and direct credit to beneficiaries. Banking infrastructure utilizes business correspondence, payment banks, and Aadhaar enabled payment systems. AAPs for financial inclusion and delivery of funds. UP integration expand interoperability allowing both public and private sector participation, delivering subsidies and benefits. You know that India securities as a application program interface APIs that allows governments, business, startups, and developers to utilize any unique digital infrastructure. PM offers recorded 2.19 crore transactions in a single day on 30 March 2020 during COVID-19 pandemic. Next, we have how DBT ecosystem had transformed social welfare in India. Okay, affecting implementation of schemes since 2016, DBT has delivered over 450 schemes to 900 million people, transferring $450 billion directly to beneficiaries. This accounts for 60% of the welfare and subsidies budget of the Union government. During COVID-19, DPT provided essential relief during the lockdown, transferring 27,442 crores to 11.42 crores beneficiaries under schemes like PM Kisan and Manregas. Okay, between March and April 2020, okay, states disbursed 10,217 crores to 4.58 crores beneficiaries under the 180 welfare schemes. Okay, financial inclusions to enable DPD over 53.13 crores bank accounts have been opened under the PM Jantan Yojana PMJDY with the being in the rural and semi-urban and 56% being owned by the women. After transparency and accountability, Aadhaar sharing eliminated over 90 million fake beneficiaries, saving the government 40 billion just by reducing leakages which previously accorded 42% of GDP annually. Next, we have the socio-economic impact of socially mobility through an rehabilitation programs such as self-employment for manual scavengers, strengthen agricultural economies by providing the direct financial assistance for inputs like fertilizers and insurance schemes for farmers. Okay, enable the women's economy innovators through cash transfers to Jan accounts under the schemes like the PM Gari Pillar Yojana, interest recognition. The IMF raised India's DBT schemes as a logistical marvel benefiting women and the elderly and farmers. Okay, World Bank President also highlighted its success in targeting cash transfers, raising 54% of rural and 69% of the urban households. Concerns about accuracy over reliance on efficiency for awareness and technology-based solutions like DBT may overtook the need to enhance state capacity fails to address systemic issues such as public services like education and healthcare, urging the poor towards monitoring alternatives. Cash transfers shift to the burden of basic services into the poor who are often unable to afford private options. Temporary solutions cash transfers act as the short of access but fails to address a deep-rooted structural poverty and inequality, limit accessibility, geographical barriers. Many remote and rural areas lack adequate banking facilities and digital infrastructure, making it difficult for beneficiaries. CBT provides services. Okay, financial literacy, a significant portion of the population, particularly in the rural areas, lacks necessary financial literacy to navigate the environment and benefit collection process. Okay, and beneficiaries include C, inclusion and exclusion of exclusioners and enrollment. Examine into about 6.65 lakh farmers lost the PM Kisan scheme benefit due to their failures in updating e-KYC and also other issues, transaction failures, inconsistent payment systems, non standardized exclusion of marginalized communities such as standard farmers. KTN farmers undermine the intended goals of DBT programs aims of supporting low-income population. Poor communication between banks and government agencies and lack of grievance redressal mechanism to address compliance and issues faced by the beneficiaries. We for reform goals go with the DBT 2.0 expand coverage and improve technological integrations for real-time citizens-friendly welfare delivery, focusing on an online obligatory verification mechanism using Aadhaar with the DBT 3.0 building a national level social registry and a centralized database incorporating best practices from state initiatives such as Karnataka's Kutumpa and Rajasthan Gen other. Okay, target outreach for marginalized groups such as informal workers who often lack formal identification and research with tailored awareness campaigns, accessible digital literacy among rural population with strategized targeted initiatives in collaboration with local NGOs and community organizations and easier access to DBT services with expanding the network of well-trained common service and CSCs and business correspondents in rural areas. Reverse reversal mechanism, single window grievance Drosel mechanism system accessible at local gram panchayat level that allows beneficiaries to easily report issues related to the payments or amount, and also systematic collections and analysis of real-time feedback from beneficiaries regarding their experiences with the DBT inform policy adjustments and operational improvements. Okay, global implications as strengthen India's leadership in both global and north and global south as it is serves as a scalable model for addressing poverty and promoting financial inclusion. Worldwide positions in India as key contributor to global discussions on digital body infrastructure and citizen welfare. Okay, next we have the rural non-farm economy (RNFE). Okay, why there is a state of rural youth employment 2024 report reveals most rural youth see agriculture as unattractive and prefer a non-farm jobs, including small business. Moreover, there is a report is prepared by the Department of Intelligence Unit (DUI), joint initiative of Transform Rural India (GRI), okay, Sambodhi Research and the Global Development Incubator (GTA). The report highlights that 70% of the rural youth cite low productivity and poor profits as reasons for moving away from farming. About rural non-farm economy, RNFE includes value chain activities, agro processing, transport, distribution, marketing, and retail, as well as tourism, manufacturing, construction, and mining, self-employment activities, handicrafts, bakeries, mechanics, and stocks, kiosks, and so it is defined both spatially by activity that takes place in rural areas and functionality by a set of activities that do not constitute primary agricultural production. Although agriculture had traditionally dominated the rural economy, but two-thirds of rural incomes now incomes from non-agricultural activities, that is RNFE. Moreover, more than half of the value added in the manufacturing sector in India is contributed by rural areas. The significance of RNFE reducing discarded development like RNFE absorbs surplus labor of agriculture sector teenage wage and ambition labor favors of labor by creating an alternative employment opportunities in rural areas. It reduces labor supply in labor market, income security and poverty reduction. RNFE sector manages risks and uncertainties in rural livelihood during agriculture off season and by diversifying income sources through this RNFE reduces rural agriculture by providing local employment applied urbanization percent transition from primary agricultural economy to industrialized economy, reduces migrations rural industries. Next we have the key determinants of RNF in India.